Romy, I'll start with you real quick. I'm just curious about what songs are on your M playlist.
Whoa. Get ready to weep.
Yeah, because I'm assuming very dark, emotional.
There's a really random mixture. There is a Celine Dion song in there, randomly, that somebody was listening to, and they were like, Celine really caught me off guard here. But it was like a song that I pictured well.
Yeah, certainly effects going forward.
You can't make me sing it. I'll sing it later for you. But I'll play it for you too, because I'll show you what I was picturing. But I was picturing a fall. But for the most part, there was a Family Line by. That was a really big song because it's all about family. There was Sorry Mom by Kelsey Ballerini, and that song like really helped me with the mom situation. There was also a lot of Girl in Red, who has very, very sad lyrics but beautiful music. Lizzie McAlpine. There was a big mixture of things, but there was some really hardcore like pump up stuff too, because for episode 6 there's a song called Gods, and it literally just goes like, oh, it just like plays these crazy things, and that's what I picture was going on in Em's head throughout episode 6.
Where did you did you already know these songs? Did you go on a gotta find the right songs how did you find them?
I always love making a playlist for characters because I do think that music can trigger so much anxiety,
100%.
like so much emotion, in this case anxiety, but there were a few songs that just like when I read and I was like, these songs. Lonely by Noah Cyrus was one of them. I Can't Breathe by B. Miller was one of them. Like those two were really big. And then through that, I had some other music that I listened to. I listened to a lot of Girl in Red, and it just so happens it fits Em's vibe perfectly. And then I definitely did research, and I spoke to Aaron and Luke, and Amanda and Sierra, and was like, this is kind of what I do. And then they introduced me to Lydia Ainsworth, also, who's a composer on our show.
Smart.
So we see Em heal Dana, of course, and it seems like she's a little special. We find out more how much more special she is. I mean, we don't know yet. Season 2. Will we find out more why she's more special, and will her healing Dana affect Dana, and will she get a little extra juice, a little power?
How are we supposed to answer that?
With yes or no.
Your guess might be as good as mine.
Will we see repercussions? Let's say.
I will say that there are always consequences in life.
Well, I think
for any action.
We should have known that sooner.
Life lesson. Science.
Right? There are
For every
always
action, there's
consequences.
an equal reaction.
wind up meeting
No more science for math, please.
No, stopping. It's all I know is that
built through our life.
it's a handy trick.
Suddenly we're thrust into this
And
world, and
but it
the
doesn't.
things that we thought were important have changed.
If it fixed everything, we wouldn't have a show. So
That's true. We're also forgetting that it does take something out of them to do. So
yes,
how
but I'm
many?
alive now, so
That's all that matters. I know. You're right. You're right.
And then, but then rejuves.
Yeah. After Ibrahim went on a whole.
That's what
he's there for. You're right.
What else is he doing in Wausau?
I'll keep healing and dying and reviving. That's it. We're good.
Yeah.
Okay, easy. You got your answer. There you go.
We have no more crematorium or whatever in Wausau because Em's just like,
I got it, guys.
and then it just goes. And then Groundhog Day, but like
we keep it near them. Yeah.
Melanie, with all due respect, please stop almost dying between us and Star Trek. It's been very stressful.
Yeah.
So just get that out of the way.
Okay.
You have a trend
also sick of hospital gowns. Go on.
You look great.
Do I?
You really do look great for almost dying a lot.
Thank you.
You have a trend of playing characters that have a good moral compass, but are a little fuzzy on the rules. What about that kind of character appeals to you, or do you kind of wish they would take about 15% off and maybe follow some rules sometimes?
No, because nobody that follows rules is. I mean, listen. I think rules are important, but I think it's also important to know when they need to be broken. And I think that's true in life, and I think that's, it's like it's not a one-size-fits-all situation, and sometimes it's like if you have a good reason, it needs to be broken. And I also think that rules are so, like, we made them up. Like, we, like, I tried to explain to my son why it's okay to, he's at the age where he's like uncomfortable with body parts. And I'm like, but you're only uncomfortable because we made up a rule in society that we need to cover everything a certain way. But like, that hasn't always been there, and if you lived in that world, you wouldn't have this problem. What's my point? Rules.
Morally ambiguous characters.
That's the thing. It's like, who are we to decide what's right and wrong? So why not break the stupid things we one time said we should do? Because times have changed. Times change.
Those are the challenges.
Works for me. Right, are you a rule follower?
In real life, oh yes, I'm a rule. Yeah. But that's why I need to play people who are like, flip the table. And then I'm like, I love it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So kind of on that front, I mean, how much does Dana's situation with her own child,
Nice to see you.
nice to see you too, right, impact the way she deals with
So
weight?
shooting that scene.
Her with her own child.
Like, how much does that kind of inform the way she then turns around and deals with it?
Happy accident.
Well, I think there's a certain amount of like, once you become a parent, you're like, you get to stop parenting me now. Like, now, like, whether you like it or not, I'm the captain now. Like, and so but I've never been in Brain's situation, but I imagine it's hard when you see your kid kind of making choices that you think aren't in their best interests. It's hard to stay out of it. And so I think it's a really interesting dynamic. I think it's like nobody's wrong, but it makes a lot of sense that Dana's like, back off, start trusting me. If I wasn't your daughter, you wouldn't be acting like this. Let me do my job the way I think it's right. And I think too, at the beginning of the show, she wants to bail with Cooper because I think she just wants to have a chance of like, much like like having a chance to show who she really is versus who everybody's decided she is. And she wants that freedom for herself and her son. Yeah.
What would you guys say you learned about yourselves filming this season?
I learned that I've said this a lot, but it's true. I honestly feel like I've learned a lot about myself physically in terms of what I'm capable of and what I can be capable of and what I can learn and what I can do. I feel like kind of similar to Em, I've always been told not to do this because you're too short, or don't do this because you're going to hurt yourself. And on this set, they gave me a lot of freedom and exposure to who I can be and what I can do safely, of course. That would be a big thing that I learned from the show. And then I think that I learned that you can also just learn from your character a lot. And through that, I also learned a lot about OI and addiction as well because of all the research. So I feel grateful that I got to learn about those through somebody and through telling a story.
So both of your characters, for different reasons. So Em has a point where things radically change for her. She becomes like more badass. And what emotions did you tap into to make that transition? And Dana has a very difficult relationship with her father. It's what emotions did
I guess
you
initially
tap
the way
into
Elaine reacted, I would probably act
to
initially.
play that
You would
relationship,
definitely
that
be wary
complex relationship,
and
and
suspicious.
assert your strength.
I think we're still suspicious.
For the emotions tapping into, I think as humans, we all feel emotions very heavily, and we don't always express those emotions because we're not always able to. And I feel like with that, Em was going through a fight or flight moment, and that's kind of what I embraced in the moment. And there was fighting, and then there was the flight portion, which is when, after Coop was gone, her sister is in her hands. That's where she's that's where she's no longer able to figure out what she can do, which then works in her favor, but that's the moment where she feels completely helpless. Before then, I don't think there's even a thought other than I want to hurt you because nobody touches my family. And I honestly just think, like, I'm a really sweet person and I don't like to be mean to people, but when people mess with my family, that's when I take it personally. That's when I'm not happy. I'm not a happy person anymore. That's where I get upset. So putting that into Dana and Mel is easy.
And for Dana, I think I actually really I struggle with anger. I think I'm in real life. I'm like, oh, I wouldn't want to be around me when I have a really long fuse, but when it goes off, you don't want to be there, as my husband would say. And so for the dynamic between Wayne and Dana, I did feel I held back a lot and kind of let it be a bit superficial. And what I had to kind of do is then go drop into like the pain of what was behind the anger, and that let me find the anger because just anger is like anybody can yell like and raise your voice, but if there's no pain or like there's no reason behind it, then it's just yelling. It's loud and annoying. So for me, it was a great kind of what I learned from my character was like that you have to not be afraid of standing up for yourself and not being afraid of your anger, because sometimes it's the only way to get through.
There's some forced moments in it. I don't like that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.